Good afternoon, guys. I think it's quite late already. You are all tired, so please, those who are sitting here, you're tired, it has been a long day, have a seat, and we can discuss about digitalization consulting. I mean, I hope and I guess that all of you have been walking around here, looking at all these new products, these new services, these new technologies that we have been presenting here on this wonderful Siemens booth. Let's make this session a little bit different. I'm not going to talk about any product. I'm not going to talk about any services or software or hardware. I'm just going to talk about cars, and kind of. Who knows this car? Maserati? Okay, Maserati, this was easy, right? But Maserati Gipsy Q4, for those who are specialists. It's quite of a nice car, right? Think about, let's just imagine that, I mean, for most of us in this audience, I guess that this is what we could consider as an expensive car, right? So just think about for a second that you are buying this car. Forget about the money, you've got the money, you buy this car. Cool. Would you think of driving this car without having an insurance? I mean, most likely not, right? I mean, if you have been investing so much money in such a car, the last thing we want to do is not to invest into a small amount of money for the insurance. Well, this is a little bit the same thing with consulting. You are going to invest a significant amount of money in a digital transformation. So in other words, you are going to invest in many different technologies for your future as a company, which probably define the next 10 years of your business and your strategy. Why wouldn't you invest as well a small amount of money in an insurance to make sure that your investments are done properly, correctly, and in the right way? Sounds reasonable, right? This is what about digitalization consulting is. We are here to help you to identify in which way you need to invest for this digital transformation. Of course, we know that digitalization is a must, that we need to move there and so on. And as I was saying, you guys have probably been walking around and you have been seeing all this technology around. Artificial intelligence, we have wonderful demonstration there. IoT platform, of course, with our MindSphere. What else? Big data, machine learning. All these technology are here somehow presented on our booth. But the good news is, these are existing and these are real today, no doubt. The first bad news is that you cannot implement them, obviously, all together at the same time. And then the second bad news, if I may say, is that it's not one size fits all. It means it's not because one of you will invest first in artificial intelligence and big data and then in advanced analytics, that another company would have to do the same. This is really, really specific to many factors. First, depending on the industry. Some industries are way more advanced and way more willing, I'm talking in general, about investing into IoT platform or edge computing. Some other industries might be more conservative because maybe the life cycle of their assets are longer or any other reason, and they might not want to invest today in edge computing, but rather in virtualizations. So as you say, all these investments and these transformation roadmaps for your, let's say, 10 years future business is really depending on technologies, on market, and on where you're standing. In the same industry, we could have a company A who is already way advanced in their automation and therefore wants to invest into cloud computing. And in the same industry, another company would be maybe lagging behind in terms of IT and then want to invest more in this field. So long story short, we are here to help you to identify how you're going to invest, when, and at which costs. So I'm going to walk you through this methodology that we have defined and we have already proved with many customers. We always try to understand why you want to invest in digitalization, why you want to spend your money in new technologies. It's not to just look fancy and to have a nice reference case on your website to say, hey, now I'm using artificial intelligence. If there is no business case, you are likely not going to invest. So why? Is it to reduce the time to market? Is it to increase your productivity? Or maybe to ensure a better quality of your staff on site? Or maybe to ensure a better quality of your product? Why? Once we have understood why you want to invest, then we can start going to the step number 2 and understand where are you? Where are you standing today when we talk about digitalization? How is your automation network performing? How is your cybersecurity policy performing? Or do you have one? How is this data connected to your MES? All the data are connected to the MES, or only you have some, or is there any islands of automation that are operating in a silo? And I can keep on like this. How is that all production system connecting to your ERP? And how are you managing the recipes of the chemical product or the food and beverage product that you are manufacturing? All these questions have different answers. Some of our customers are doing that with Excel files. Some of the others are doing that with a proper integrated system. And I can see there is a big range of possibilities in terms of maturity. And many dimensions, as I say. So that's what we try to do. On the second step is really to understand where you're standing. And also to be able to propose you a new solution, we need to understand how all the systems that you have, ERP, MES, SCADA, automation network, how everything is interconnected here. And once we have done our work here, once we have really understood the IT system, the automation systems, the cybersecurity policies, your business processes, how are they supported by that? Then once we have all this full picture, only now we can start talking about what are the best solutions for you. And then here again, we are going to filter the solutions that are bringing support to why you achieve digitalization. If artificial intelligence is not helping you to reduce your time to market, and if time to market is your main business drivers, then we are not going to focus on that. Which brings me to the point number 3. Normally when we conduct that kind of operations, which is between 2 and 3 weeks on the site, we end up, as you can see on the screen, on the small matrix here, with a lot of pain points and a lot of opportunities that you could solve. Problem is that, of course, as I said, you cannot solve that in one shot. So we again need here to prioritize. And once we prioritize with you these 5 projects, then we go on to step number 4, which is really a deep dive on these projects. Our consulting team is already made with an IT expert who can interact with the ERP, with the MES, with the LIMS, with the PIMS, and so on. It's made with an automation expert who can really talk about the DCS, the sensor network, the automation, the gateway, and so on. And of course, very important, with an industry expert who understands all the business around, what are the market forces and why you should go into this direction or not, what kind of regulation applies if we talk about pharma industry, for instance, and so on and so forth. So with the strength of this team and this expertise, we are able to deep dive into 4 to 5 projects, and then here calculate the investment you need, the return on investment you're going to have, based on your specific case. This is important. We are not providing you a one-size-fits-all. When we calculate the return on investment, we calculate the return on investment for your plants, with your cost, with your labor cost, with the price of your energy, and so on and so forth. Very important. A very personalized roadmap. And of course, these 4 or 5 projects that we have are normally interconnected. I'll give you an example. You will never upgrade an automation network and then you will never do a cybersecurity assessment of your automation network and then upgrade this automation network, because obviously many things have changed, and then again you have to run the cybersecurity assessment. That doesn't make any sense. So it's a very basic example here, but I'm just saying all these projects are interconnected. So the roadmap we are proposing are taking into account 2 dimensions. First, the investment capabilities and the investment planning that your company has communicated to us. What is the capex per quarter that they are ready to invest for this digital transformation? And the second dimension we take into account for this roadmap is really the interconnection between those projects. At the end, what do you have? You have a roadmap, or you have a report or a book, where inside you have a full view of where you are standing, what are the systems, what would be the landscape of the future of your system, so what are the missing pieces of your system to be future-proofed, what kind of technology you need to invest in, what are the costs, and what are the return on the investments. And last but not least, of course, you are here on this wonderful Siemens booth. This is clear. I'm also from Siemens, but we are a consulting team. So it means that this report here is talking only about technologies. It's talking about only investment on those technologies. Only after you get this report, we're going to start talking about how Siemens will support you with our specific product that are answering your needs. But of course, there is a separation between our consulting activities and providing our products. Of course, we are here to provide you all the support for the implementation, but please keep in mind that this consulting activity is completely neutral, hence making you completely free to discuss with us and to discuss as well with the other market players here. So please, as I said, we can give you way more details. Visit us on the booth, is right there, and the Service and Consulting Cube. We are happy to provide you some more concrete example, and then hopefully start working with you at some point. Thank you very much.